Thank you, yeah. Okay, yeah, thank you. So chant the 21 praises to Tara. So some of you have we'll go to Tibetan and English. It's 9 if you've got a big book and 10 if you've got a smaller book. And then most people should have the handout to the English version. Om Jitsu Ma Pama Joma La Jatsa Lon Jatsa Joma Nyuma Pa Mo Jini Geji Lo Dandra Ma Jiten Zunga Juge Shagi Gesa Jewa Leni Joma Jatsa Dungi Dawa Kundu Gawa Gyani Zek Bejama Karma Tondra Tsopanam Gi Rabdu Jewe Yorabarma Jatsa Zunga June Gegi Pame Jangni Nambaragema Jimba Zunju Gadubji Wazo Bazam Denjo Yonima Chaza Dejin Shekbe Tsukto Daye Nambaragya Wachama Malu Baro Jimba Tobe Gyawe Zegi Shindu Dema Chaza Dudare Yige Dodan Jodanam Gagama Jitenu Bashapki Nende Luba Meba Gugbanuma Sakya Jime La Zang Ba Lung La Na Zong Wan Je Je Ma Jumbo Ro Lan Ji Zanam Dan Ne Jin Zong Kin Du Ni De Ma Cha Za Je Je Jiao Dan Pe Gi Ba Ro Zhong Gu Rab Du Zhong Ma Ye Gam Yong Gyan Shab Gi Nen De Me Pa Chuk Ba Shin Du Bar Ma Cha Za Du De Jik Ba Je Mo Du Gi Ba Wo Nam Bar Jo Ma Chu Ge Shan Ni Chon Ye Den Ze Dra Wo Dam Je Malu Soma Chaza Kunjan Som Son Jage Somo Duka Nambar Gema Malu Jogi Golo Gembe Rangi Yoki Zok Nam Trukma Chaza Rab Duka Waji Pe Ugeno Ki Treng Wapema Je Parab Je Dudara Yi Dudanji De Wan Dudzema Chaza Zaji Kyong We Zok Nam Tam Je Gukpa Nupa Nima Chanyo Yo We Yige Hungi Pomba Dam Je Nambara Droma Chaza Da We Dumberu Yen Gemba Dam Je Shin Dumbarma Rabe Jone Yo Bagmele Taba Shindu Rabzema Chaza Gaba Dame Meta Ba We Dreng We Unanema Yega Yungum Gunne Korge Jayi Bungni Nambara Droma Chaza Zaji Ngola Chagi Tugi Nunji Shapki Duma Chonya Jenze Ige Hungi Rimba Dumbo Namni Gema Age Mange Maji Ma Nyanen Deji Joyo Nima Swaha Om Da Yanda Deme Digba Jimbo Jomba Nima Chaza Gune Gorab Gawe Drayi Luni Rabdu Gema Yige Jube Nagni Kope Rigba Om Le Drolma Nima Chaza Dure Jamni Dabme Hungi Nabe Zabanima Rira Mandara Dam Big Je Jigden Som Nam Yowanima Chaza La Yitso Yinam Be Rida Da Jinjak Nanama Tara Nijo Peki Yinge Tugnama Lupani Zema Chaza La Yitso Nam Gyalpo La Dami Yam Jitema Kunego Jagawa Jigi Tsodami Lam Nyemba Zema Chaza Nima Dawa Gebe Cheni Bola Urab Zema Hara Nijo Tutara Yishin Mindu Japorim de Sama, Chaza Deni Sumnam Go Beji, Way to Dayan Dantema, Donda Rolang no Jinso Na, Jomba to the Rapjonima, Sawi Nagi to Bade Dan, Chaza Wani Nishut Sajing. And in English? Om to Reverend Aryatara I pay homage, homage to Tara swift and brave, with eyes like a flash of lightning. From lotus face of three worlds, Lord, you arose from the blooming heart. Homage to you whose face appears like 100 full autumns. By 1,000 stars all gathered, you shine with supreme radiance. Homage to you whose hand is grace with water bongo blue lotus. Giving effort, endurance, peace, spear of compassion and focus. Homage to you, crown of Buddhas, who enacts limitless triumphs. Those who've obtained all perfections, as our victors rely on you. Homage to you, to Tara, whom filling desire direction space, whose feet tremble the seven worlds with power to summon all beings. Homage to you, praised by Chakra, Agni, Brahma, Vayu, Shiva. Demons, zombies, Gandharvas, to Yaksha hosts bow down before you. Homage to you with trade and bed, you crush others' magic designs. Right leg bent, left outstretched, pressing, blazing amid raging great flames. Homage to the fearsome today, you subdue bravest of martyrs. Lotus face bearing wrathful frown, you slay every foe completely. Homage to you whose fingers grace your heart with the three jewels mudra. With chakra of all directions, whirling in a mass of lightness. Homage to you, truly joyful, with crown spreading garlands of light. Laughing fully with Tutara, you control the world and martyrs. Homage to you who can summon all assembled earthly guardians. With frown of wrath and moving home, you free all those in poverty. Homage to you, crescent moon, all of your adornments blazing. Amitabha in your top knot, radiating boundless bright light. Homage to you, dwelling within, blazing garland like ages. And right leg outstretched, left leg drawn in, with joy you quell armies of foes. Homage to you who strikes the earth with pounding palms and feet stamping. Your wrathful frown and letter home cause 7 levels to scatter. Homage to blissful, wholesome calm, she who is sphere of nirvana. With perfected Om and Swaha, you destroy your great harmful deeds. Homage to you, circled with joy, you shatter bodies of all foes. Speech said with 10-lettered mantra, you liberate by wisdom. Homage to feet stamping today, whose form it seats syllable. Mandara and Vindhya, you cause all 3 worlds to tremble. Homage to you whose hand holds moon, marked with deer like a divine lake. With Tara uttered twice in pay, you purge every single poison. Homage to you who is served by kings of God's devas, Kimnadas. Your resplendent armor of joy pacifies conflicts and nightmares. Homage to you whose true eyes shine brightly like the sun and full moon. With Hara twice and Tutara, you dispel vicious diseases. Homage to you with 3 natures, who has the power to bring peace. In most supreme you conquer hordes of demons, zombies, yakshas. This is a praise of root mantra and the 21 homages. Om Jitsu Ma Pama Joma La Jatsa Lon Chatsa Joma Nyuma Ba Moi Jenny Geji Lo Dandrama Jiten Zunga Juge Shao Gi Ge Sa Je Wa Le Ni Juma Chatsa Dungi Da Wa Gundu Gama Gyani Ze Bejama Kama Donja Zoba Nam Gi Rab Du Je We Ram Parma Chatsa Zunga June Ge Gi Pa Me Jang Ni Nam Par Gema Jimba zonju katubji wan soba samten choyonima shasa deshin shekbe tsuk to taye nambar gyawa chama malu baro jimba to be gyawe seki shin tu tema chasa tu dare yi ge do dan chodan nam kagang ma chiden dun bo shabki nente lupa me ba guk pa numa chasa gya jime la tsang ba lung la na so wan chu chu ma Trumbo roland jiza nam dan no jin zo gi dun ne ma chasa je je ja dan be gi paro choko rap tu joma ye gam yon gen shab gi nente me ba jik ba shin tu bar ma chasa tu re jik pa che mo tu ki pa o nam par joma chu ge jani chonye den ze dra wo tam je ma lu so ma chasa kun jong tsum son cha ge so mo tu ka nam par ge ma ma lu cho gi ko lo gen be rang gi yo gi sok nam truk ma chasa rap tu ga wa ji pe u ge no ki tring wa pe ma Marab je tu tara yin tu dan ji de wan tu zema cha za za ji gyong we zok nam dam je guk ba nu ba ni ma chon yo we yi ge hung gi pom ba dam je nam bar jo ma cha za da we dun be gen gen ba dam je shin tu bar ma ra be jo ne yo bag me le tam ba shin tu ram ze ma cha za ga ba da me ta ba we jing we yu na ne ma ye ga yong gum gun ne kor ge dra yi bung ni nam par joma cha za za ji ngo la ja ge de gi nun ji jab gi doma chon ye jen ze yi ge hum ge rim ba dum bo nam ni ge ma cha za de ma ge ma ji ma nya ne de ji jo yo ni ma swaha om da ya da de me di pa jem bo jom pa ni ma cha za gu ne ko rab ga we dra yi lu ni rab du ge ma yi ge ju ben agni ko be ring ba le jol ma ni ma cha za du re jab ni da be hungi na be za bo ni ma re ra man da ra dam be je ji den som nam yo wa ni ma cha za la yin zo yin nam be ri da da jin cha na na ma ta ra ni jo be ge yi ge tu na ma le ba ni sa ma cha za la yi zo nam ya bo la da mi am chi de ma ku ne go cha ga wa ji ge zo da mi lam nyem ba se ma cha za ni ma da wa ge be je ni bo ra rab se ma ha ra ni jo tu ta ra yi shin tu tra bo rim ne sa ma Ante ni zum nam go be ji we tu da yang da de ma do da ro la no jin zo nan jong ba tu re rab jong ni ma sa we na ke tu pa de da cha so wa ni shu zuan ji Om to Reverend Aryatara I pay homage, homage to Tara swift and brave, with eyes like a flash of lightning. From lotus face of three worlds, Lord, you arose from the blooming heart. Homage to you whose face appears like 100 full autumns. By 1,000 stars all gathered, you shine with supreme radiance. Homage to you whose hand is grace with water bongo blue lotus, giving effort, endurance, peace, sphere of compassion and focus. Homage to you, crown of Buddhas, who enact limitless triumphs. Those who've obtained all perfections, as of victors rely on you. Homage to you, to Tara Hung, filling desire, direction, space, who sweet tremble the seven worlds with power to summon all beings. Homage to you, praised by Chakra, Agni, Brahma, Vayu, Shiva. Demons, zombies, Gandharvas, to Yaksha hosts bow down before you. Homage to you with tread and pay, you crush others' magic designs. Right leg bent, left outstretched, pressing, blazing amid raging great flames. Homage to the fearsome today, you subdue bravest of martyrs. Lotus face bearing wrathful frown, you slay every foe completely. Homage to you whose fingers grace your heart with the three jewels mudra, with chakra of all directions, whirling in a massive light race. Homage to you, truly joyful, with crowns spreading garlands of light, laughing fully with Tutara, you control the world and martyrs. Homage to you who can summon all assembled earthly guardians, with frown of wrath and moving you free all those in poverty. Homage to you, crescent moon crown, all of your adornments blazing. Amitabha in your top knot, radiating boundless bright light. Homage to you, dwelling within, blazing garnet like ages, and right leg outstretched, left leg drawn in. With joy you quell armies of foes. Homage to you who strikes the earth with pounding palms and feet stamping. Your wrathful frown and letter home cause 7 levels to scatter. Homage to blissful, wholesome, calm, she who is sphere of nirvana. With perfected Om and Swaha, you destroy all great harmful deeds. Homage to you, circled with joy, you shatter bodies of all foes. Speech said with 10-lettered mantra, you liberate by wisdom. Homage to feet stamping today, whose form is seen syllable. Meru, Mandara, and Vindhya, you cause all 3 worlds to tremble. Homage to you whose hand holds moon, marked with deer like a divine lake. With Tara uttered twice and pay, you purge every single poison. Homage to you who is served by kings of God's devas, Kimnadas. Your resplendent armor of joy pacifies conflicts and nightmares. Homage to you whose true eyes shine brightly like the sun and full moon. With Hara twice and Tutara, you dispel vicious diseases. Homage to you with 3 natures, who has the power to bring peace. To the most supreme you conquer hordes of demons, zombies, yakshas. This is the praise of root mantra and the 21 homages. Om Jetsu Ma Pa Ma Jo Ma La Cha Tsa Lon Cha Tsa Jo Ma Nyu Ma Pa Mo Che Ni Ge Je Lo Dan Dra Ma Ji Den Sun Gen Ju Ge Sha Gi Ge Sa Je Wa Le Ni Jo Ma Cha Sa Du Gi Da Wa Kun Du Ga Wa Gya Ni Zek Be Zhao Ma Ka Ma Don Tra Zo Ba Nam Gi Rab Du Je We Yo Ra Par Ma Cha Sa Su Nge Ju Ne Ge Gi Pa Me Jang Ni Nam Pa Ge Ma Jin Ba Zun Ju Ka Tub Ji Wa Zo Pa Sam Den Che Yo Ni Ma Cha Sa De Jin She Be Zo Do Da Ye Nam Par Gya Wa Che Ma Ma Lu Pa Ro Jin Pa To Be Gya We Se Gi Shin Tu De Ma Cha Sa Du Da Re Hum Yi Ge Do Dan Chok Dan Nam Ka Gang Ma Indun Pa Shap Ki Nen Te Lu Pa Me Pa Guk Pa Nu Ma Cha Za Gya Jin Me La Tsang Pa Lung La Na Zo Wan Chu Cho Ma Drum Po Ro Lan Ji Za Nam Da No Jin So Ki Du Ne To Ma Cha Za Je Je Cha Dan Pe Gi Pa Ro Cho Ko Rab Tu Jo Ma Ye Gam Yung Gyun Shap Ki Nen Te Me Pa Truk Pa Shin Tu Par Ma Cha Za Tu Re Jik Pa Je Mon Du Ki Pa Wo Nam Par Jo Ma Chu Ge Sha Ni Tro Nye Den Ze Dra Wo Tam Je Ma Lu So Ma Cha Za Kun Chong Tsum Tsong Cha Ge So Mo Tu Ka Nam Par Ge Ma Ma Lu Cho Ki Go Lo Gen Be Rang Ki Yo Ki Tsok Nam Truk Ma Cha Za Rab Tu Ga Wa Ji Be U Ge Nu Ki Cheng Wa Be Ma Je Pa Rab Je Tu Ta Ra Yi Tu Dan Jik Den Wan Tu Se Ma Cha Za Za Shi Kyong We Tsok Nam Tam Je Guk Pa Nu Pa Ni Ma Cho Nye Yo We Yi Ge Hun Gi Pom Pa Tam Je Nam Par Jo Ma Cha Za Da We Dun Be Rin Gen Gen Pa Tam Je Shin Tu Par Ma Ra Be Je Ne Pa Me Le Ta Pa Shin Tu Ram Ze Ma Cha Za Ga Pa Ta Me Me Ta Ba We Cheng We Yu Na Ne Ma Ye Gan Yung Kum Kun Ne Kor Ge Dra Yi Pung Ni Nam Par Jo Ma Cha Za Za Shi Ngo La Cha Gi Tu Gi Nun Ji Shap Ki Tu Ma Cho Nye Chen Ze Yi Ge Hun Gi Rin Pa Dum Bo Nam Ni Ge Ma Cha Za De Ma Ge Ma Shi Ma Nya Nen De Shi Cho Yo Ni Ma Swaha Om Dang Yang Dang De Me Dik Pa Jin Po Chom Pa Ni Ma Cha Za Gu Ne Go Rab Ga We Dra Yi Lu Ni Rab Tu Ge Ma Yi Ge Ju Be Nak Ni Ko Pe Rik Pa Om Le Jol Ma Ni Ma Cha Za Tu Re Jab Ni Da Pe Hung Gi Na Be Sa Bo Ni Ma Ri Rab Mandara Dang Big Je Jik Den Sum Nam Yo Wa nima chazala izo inam beri data jinjak nanama tara ninjo peki ge tuknama liparnisama La itzok nam gyalpo, la dami am chi tema. Kunego jagawa jigi, zodami lam nyempa selma. Chazani madawa gebe, jeni bola orab selma. Harani jotu tora yi, shindu drag boydem ne selma. Chaza deni sumnam kope, jiwe tu dan yandan tema. Tonda rola no jenzo na, jomba tu red up jonima. Zawe nage de bade dan jazawa ni ni shu zaji. Om tare tu tare tare soha, om tare tu tare tare soha, om tare tu tare tare soha, om tare tu tare tare soha. Om tare tu tare tare soha, 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 om tare tu tare tare soha.
Njomdende bando jizembalan jaza lom banza zato samaya mano balaya banza zato deno ba de dro me bawa zubo gayo me bawa norado me bawa zubo gayo me bawa zawa zede me bayan zawa gama zaza me zada jire ya guru Aho Bhagave Zawa Dada Gada Baza Mame Manza Baze Bawa Ma Zamaya Zado Baza Zado Zamaya Mano Balaya Baza Zado Deno Ba Deda Dedo Membawa Zubo Gaya Membawa Norado Membawa Zubo Gaya Membawa Zawa Zede Mebaya Zazawa Gama Zazam Siddha Jireya Guru Ha Ha Om Bhagave Zawa Dada Gada Baza Mame Manza Baze Bawa Ma Zamaya Zado Om Baza Zado Zamaya Mano Balaya Baza Zado Den Deda Dedo Membawa Zubo Gaya Membawa Norado Membawa Zubo Gaya Membawa Zawa Zede Mebaya Zazawa Gama Zazame Zidan Jireya Guru Om Bhagave Zawa Dada Gada Baza Mame Manza Baze Bawa Ma Zamaya Zado Om Baza Zado Zama Mano Balaya Baza Zado Deno Ba Deda Dedo Membawa Zubo Gaya Membawa Norado Membawa Zubo Gaya Membawa Zawa Zede Mebaya Zazawa Gama Zuzame Zidan Jireya Guru Bhagave Zawa Dada Gada Baza Mame Manza Baze Bawa Ma Zamaya Zado Ingewa De Nyodo Dando Je Zamba Rojo Nendroa Je Yamale Te Zala Barajo. Good morning, everyone. We are going to do the Red Tara initiation today. The most important part of any practice is the right motivation for the sake of all sentient beings that we are going to receive this initiation. To generate this motivation is very important, because this is the fuel which will help you to practice and also to motivate you. Without this kind of motivation, and it's very difficult to practice. Even with the practice, you can read the words, you can understand the words, but to grasp the full meaning of these practices, it is very essential to understand the meaning and also why you are doing these practices. So once you understand that, then you can come to the how to do this sadhana, how long should we do this, and what kind of practices one should do. So one of the main practices that to enable for you to generate this kind of motivation is suffering, because all the masters who do teaching, they always start with suffering. Because we do not understand the suffering, we only know a few things here and there, and then we consider that as suffering. But if you try to understand the full scope of suffering, the things which we already recognize as suffering, those are easy to understand. But then you will realize, if you go into details, then you will also realize that things which we considered happiness in this samsara or in worldly life, those are also happiness, but suffering disguised as a happiness. So these are also basically you will see that nothing part of the nothing is in this samsara is a true happiness. It's all basically suffering, but in a different forms and shapes. So then some people may realize these are happiness, but some people will recognize as suffering. So that is very essential to understand, and that is why our masters are always talking about suffering and trying to remind us. We may not understand that. That's why we think sometimes, oh, why are they always talking about suffering? Because we have heard about suffering so many times, and now we still have to again listen to the suffering again, because we are already going through already so much of this already. But that's because we do not understand the full scope of suffering and full details of the suffering. So once you understand that, then you can really they understand the full scope of these teachings and practices. Um, and also to do motivation for the sake of all sentient beings is also very important, because that's how we are generating universal compassion, the great compassion, without any egos or without any selfish thoughts. Because if you are doing it for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones, then you are creating a barrier between the sentient beings, all the sentient beings, and yourself or your loved ones. So that is also not good. So every journey, every part from your practice is going to keep you as small as possible. So that's why we are always there is no part where it says, oh, this is for you or your family or your loved ones. This, from the beginning till the end, it's always going to be for all sentient beings. This is essential. This is to remember that. There are many, of course, benefits, but one of them is to keep your ego and to keep your selfish thoughts on a minimum basis. So we'll do a short meditation. We will try to keep our mind on an object, preferably on a holy object like a stupa, temple, monastery, your master, deities, any holy object we will do. If you cannot do that, then you can keep your mind on basically any object like your house, your car, your family, or a tree, mountain, anything you want. If you cannot do that, then you can keep your mind on your breathing. You don't have to do anything special or anything. You just try to concentrate on your breathing. As you breathe in, you just notice that I'm breathing in. If you keep your breath inside, then you notice that it's inside. And then as you breathe out, then you realize that also you are breathing out. Notice that it's breathing out. If you want to do a little bit more elaborate, then as you breathe in, you can visualize or imagine that you are breathing in all the goodness, all the energy, all the power of all the goodness of this universe. You are breathing in, and as you breathe, keep your breath inside. You realize that you are keeping all this goodness. You are keeping it inside, and as you breathe out, you visualize that all the negative things in your life or your emotions, you are breathing it out. So basically, you are cleansing yourself. O nam ga da nyam be sim jen tam ji ge dun dong to ja lan la ma je ba yang da ban zo be sang ji ge ko ba rim bo je je ne jang tong ge ba ja de je do je na sam mo san la de zu jin do nyam zo la wa ji wa nyam ba sam ba jang ju ge jo do do je ba sa dam ne sim bra na ra jo de la de ju go ma do ye ba le ju de rim bo je nam ne la ye nam jo sam ji mi ja ba sum ba na ba ye je lo ben zo zo do nyam zo je je Jeno dube shojudo dube dubla guna dube jazana denjo jimu jume idam jaba jeno jong jiso nawa dube gausa baba yen tela dambo jizun juma jiso nawa duba la lobin je juba ba tam je dubne tajara nam je ngoga to juba la mendra bo so deba je yong so tabra jawa dumo mai be so deba na ngondo drogobe Lobin la labe la da ta mi de nyen be je so na wa so mo shwe yondo mi de men da shin bu wara jo ben za bo me a je yon zo da ba wan je ze je za je ben za le ge a je za re go yo ge go zo No balon je jan da me nye ma da wa la da mi ban jo ba zon zo ba ma zan wa me ba de nye de zon zan je dam je ye wo zon me ban de la ma dam shang a ne je na zo mo je we yon do wa yon do je do we den do je zo Jene jinje lam do zo Juje me do da re ra ne je nyen de jem Sanje jindo me de bo wa yen do ge nam da jindo ju bora jo Tada mendra ne metoda je tamo jene so de ba de je de le som ze now after the mandala offering is a common request and then there's a purification prayer and then uncommon request. So the first one is the common request. So repeat after me these lines. Tusum sanje tamje da label hai ngoni pande lame gadinji dala jena zado so tusum sanje tamje da label hai ngoni pande lame gadinji dala jena zado so tusum sanje tamje da label hai ngoni pande lame gadinji dala jena zado so she zo da na je da belo da ni na la ma da ni zum be ju zo ma la san je dan ju zum so ji go tim bo to ba shi ban bo je na ga jang da shin zo do me ba sa be di ba sha ba la so be ya la dum ba je o nyen ba go na de jin de jang la sum len je do zon wa ra sho. So you have 7 for prayers. Kunjo zumlan da jan je di ban dam je zo zo sha do ge la je ran zang je jang jo yi ge zo zang je je dan zo jo la jang jo ba do je zo je ran je de ne ra do je jang jo zam ne je bra Sanjo joge zemne jege ne zemje damje dange dondo nye janjo jojo yon je braje dola benje zanje du bara jo ingen jo zomla daja je deba damje zozo jan do ngela jir Sanje janjo yige zon sanje jedan zojo la janjo bado jazo je ranjen dene rabdo je janjo zemne jebra je janjo jege zemne jege ne zemje damje dage dondon Sanjo jejo yon jebra je dola benje zamje ru bara jo ingen jo zumna da je di ba damje zozo ja do gela je ran zanje janjo yige Sanje Jedon Zojo Lo Janjo Bado Jazo Je Ranjin Dene Rabdo Je Janjo Zemne Jebra Je Janjo Joge Zemne Jege Ne Zemje Damje Dage Dondo Nye Janjo Jejo Yon Jebra Je Dola Benje Zanje Dubara Jo So now the uncommon request, please repeat after me these lines. Tusum Sanje Tamje Jingo Lama Tambe Dala Drama Marme Kusum Tugi Jesunawa Tsadoso Tusum Sanje Tamje Jingo Lama Tambe Dala Drama Marme Kusum Tugi Jesunawa Tsadoso Tusum Sanje Tamje Jingo Lama Tambe Dala Drama Marme Kusum Tugi Jesunawa Tsadoso. So now after here is the preliminary part of the initiation. Now for the main part of the initiation. Rabdo Bamo Chalo Jen Shabsime Jimorongi Shuba Yumbuji Jena Taranazuki Naso Soshin Samba Betema Go Temen Gorowa the Rom go to Bamut Tugam the Dorom go bodum go to Mamu Togarumbo Togashi. Now for the main part of the initiation, when the Guru says Om Sobo Ashido Sawa Damo Sobo Ashido Han, everything dissolves into the emptiness, and out of the emptiness a letter Pam appears. From the letter Pam is red lotus comes out. On top of that is the letter A. From there the white moon comes out, moon disk comes out. Red moon comes out. And on top of that is the Upala flower, red color Upala flower. On the middle of the Upala flower is letter Shi. This is the seed letter of the red Tara. Light rays issues out, goes to all the 10 directions and serves all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And also goes to all the sentient beings and helps all the sentient beings. The light comes back to letter Shi and dissolve into the letter Shi. Now out of the letter Shi, you have to visualize yourself in a form of red Tara. One face, two hands. Right hand is holding a curved knife and left hand is holding a rope made with the Upala flower. You are in a very youthful form, like 16-year-old. Two legs are in the lotus position, adorned with all the jewelries and also multicolored robe. On the forehead is the white letter Om, on the throat is the red letter A, on the heart is blue letter Hum. And also the seed letter is there also, which is the letter Shi. Lobinji Tugan Zoto Bedunja Jason Batam Jetuka Poetanam Jetuka Tugan Tunis Beshi, Imbara Namba Jizan Drama Marmo Gosemetam Sanimija the Changu to Mijin Jelabe Baraz. And after that, the light rays issues out from the Guru's heart. You have to remember that the Guru is also in a form of form or Guru is it is red Tara. Goes to all the directions. Light rays all goes to all the directions and touches all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas their heart and invokes their blessing. Now from their heart, their blessing comes in a form of red tara, many red taras, and all these red taras are now dissolving into oneself. So one should do the visualization. Through this way you have received the red tara's body blessing. All the negative deeds which you have accumulated through your body is now purified, and now your body is as pure and as powerful as the red tara's body. Jesus de belongelo de lobangi to gesa bangara de jabala ngara ni bajo lobangi shane de kirano gesha de to gesa bunyi tara kyo me bajo me do tamo jane nga di jende le som now for the voice blessing. The Guru has the letter Shi, the seed letter Shi in his heart. You also have the seed letter Shi. You are in the form of red tara. The Guru is also in the form of red tara. Now Guru's letter, the seed letter Shi has the red tara mantra. Om tare tu tare re Om tare tu tare center Shi soha, going around clockwise. And then through the power of your devotion and your prayers, another set of mantras comes out, and then through the Guru's mouth into your mouth and goes around the letter Shi in your heart. So this is like coming out, keep coming out, one after another. So with this visualization, repeat the mantra 3 times with me. Om tare, tu tare, sendara, Shi soha. Om tare, tu tare, sendara, Shi soha. Om tare, tu tare, sendara, Shi soha. So the first time you recite the mantra is to bless your mental continuum. Second one is to make the mantra and yourself into one. And the third one is to establish the mantra into your mental continuum. So with this, after receiving the mantra blessing, with rejoice that you have received the mantra blessing, while offering flower, or you can visualize your offering flower, repeat after me these lines. Chomden dage, sunlage, chomden dala, chinjilom, chomden dage, sunlage, chomden dala, chinjilom, chomden dage, sunlage, chomden dala, chinjilom. Now the flower which you offered is blessed and offered back to you. Jumdandila Zarajindi Lango and the Songajin was the Jumdandila Zarajindi Lango was the Songajin Guru to shoot and Barazo, so the Jelomejula, Dumaja, Marme Sangaki and Maluba Jubara Juro, Tamjo Lulu to the Sanjamado Drama, Mama the Sonyan Bedij, and now here is where you promise to keep Red Tara as your deity until enlightenment is reached. So you are what you are repeating after me in Tibetan is you are calling out to the Guru, you are saying my name so and so. Hey, you add your name here, and then you are saying from now on until enlightenment is reached, I will keep Red Tara as my deity. So repeat after me these lines. Loben, Gonsuso, Da Ming, Shijiwe, Tudane Sonde, Chise Chanju, Ningbola, Chijipado, Domamamo, Idam Jilhar, Sungarajo, Loben, Gonsuso, Da Ming, Shejibe, Tudane Sonde, Chise Chanju, Ningbola, Chijipado, Domamamo, Idam Jilhar, Sungarajo, Loben, Gonsuso, Da Ming, Shejibe, Tudane Sonde, Chise Chanju, Ningbola, Chijipado, Domamamo, Idam Jilhar, Sungarajo. Tetraje be Ramon Sungi Jana Jungagon and Sabbath, the change the Baja, Ramon Boson, the Banya Chinjalan, the Mebaraj. Through this way, you have received the Red Tara's voice blessing. All the negative deeds which you have accumulated through your voice is now purified, and now your voice is as pure and as powerful as the Red Tara's voice, and also now you are entitled to chant Red Tara's mantra. Sinjilo belongi lo dami bodi jindu zo lo banji duga ne zo be donji ke duga bo toji ko de duga ni zo me shi jing Duma mama go te so ke sa zambara duga na jang jinda jumbe jina nge jibon de duga shi da yeme da jibe me ba je de ngana la go na na shema me ro na ge sunyi da bola yi ji ke de ba da na khona sunyi na ba ji da na da ji ran ji la go da jibe so ji na ba ji de duga sa ben de ji jo jira ji da na ngo lan ja yo da jiban de so ji na ge de be che dum jina shi mo me do ni so de be to da na ngo de be ji la jibe me ba ji da jong zo je nyam bran jo bro shu. Now for the mind blessing or initiation. Light rays issues out from the Guru's heart and touches the red tara in front of. There's another red tara we have to visualize in front of you, and invokes their blessing. And from the red tara in front of you, from their heart, the essence of their blessing. Many red taras comes out, size of a thumb. And all these now red taras are dissolving into your body, and finally dissolving into the letter Shi which you have in your heart. And after that visualization, now yourself in a red tara form, slowly dissolving from the surroundings, like from down outwards. And they're dissolving into the letter Shi which in your heart, and now that letter Shi also becomes smaller and smaller, finally dissolve into the emptiness. So when you see that this letter Shi becomes smaller and smaller, dissolve into the emptiness, what you learn from that, or what you take from that, is that just like that letter Shi dissolved into the emptiness, all the phenomena and this was also the true nature of all the phenomena is also empty. So you should be doing meditation or practice on the emptiness. So now, as I was trying to tell you yesterday, that the main thing is basically when you go into detail. So anything you see, when you go to detail, for example, when you magnify things, when you magnify things, it totally looks different. When you try to see more detail inside, then everything is even the smoothest of the smoothest surface that you with what you can see with your naked eyes. When you magnify these things, then it looks so rough and so like up and down. So when you go into detail, then you will see a whole different view of the object. So similarly, all the sufferings or so-called suffering, or what you identify as suffering, when you try to dissect them, when you try to understand them, and then you will find that it doesn't exist. So one of the main trick is to basically dissect, ask questions about yourself, or whether if you are angry, so why am I angry? If you are disappointed, why am I disappointed? So all those things. Normally we try to find, I am okay, but because somebody or something happened, that's why I'm sad or angry or whatever. We try to find excuse to be angry, but anger and all this basically is the non-existence. Is because you could not understand the situation, so that's why we are getting angry, and basically all these emotions are coming up because of that. So when you go to details, then one cannot find anything. So for example, when I was studying, because we were trying to study the time, it's easy to understand that the past does not exist because it's already finished. Future does not exist because it's yet to come. But when they say present doesn't exist, there was quite a confusing for me, because what do you mean by present doesn't? I am here. I can feel it. I am breathing. I'm going through the present right now. So that was very difficult for me. But then how I understood is that if anything exists, or it has to have a beginning and the end, right? For example, if I say that 2027 does not exist, okay, it hasn't come yet. 2025 does not exist, okay, it's finished. It does not exist. But if I say 2026 does not exist, what do you mean by that? We are in 2026. But then here, when you dissect, 2026, yes, 12 months. Then we go, how do you say, right now is March, right? March. If I say, okay, March, we are in March. But then when you again dissect, then into a month, into week into day, 24 hours. 24 hours to 1 hour. 1 hour into 1 minute. 1 minute into 1 second. 1 second into a millisecond. 1 second into a microsecond. Then as you go deeper and deeper, then you will see that it doesn't exist, because there is no, you cannot identify now, because everything has beginning and end. So if you exist, for example, 1 year, 1 month, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 minute, 1 second, 1 millisecond, 1 microsecond, as you go deeper and deeper, it's like this. Basically, it's literally like this. So if you try to pinpoint at now and present, then as you're going 1 month, 1 year, 1 minute, 1 second, 1 microsecond, then as you go deeper and deeper, then what you find? You find nothing. There is no, there's not a single moment where you can say this is now, because there is no now. So this is how you will find when you go dissect. If you think without any, just like this, you say, yes, now, or right now, you identify, you look at the watch and you say, this is now, right? This is now. But even now, that is very, I think it's a very important, but easy to understand. But how many of you thought right now we are here? Right? But where is right now? When is right now? Where is right now? So when you go dissect, when you go to details, then it is you cannot identify now. So if you cannot identify now, then where do I exist? I do not exist in the past. I do not exist in the future. I am supposed to exist in the present. But where is present? How do you identify present? If I can't find present, then how do I know that I exist? Because if I don't exist in present, surely I don't exist in the past. I don't exist in the future. But how do I exist without present? So when you go to these kind of details, then it will help you understand that all these, basically this is a dream. It's so easy to identify when you sleep and you fall asleep and you dream something that does not exist. Very easy to understand. That is easy to say I don't have any attachment to whatever dream I have, because because you have already identified that as something unreal, something not real, something exists only in your dreams, not real. But we accept this is real. Dream is not real, but this is real. But then if you go dissect, if you go detail, for this world to exist, everything we know exists is basically it's in your dreams. It's in your mind. As I was saying a few days ago, that if you take out from the ice cream, the taste, shape, size, and color, then how do you identify ice cream? Because shape we acknowledge. So for example, we say, oh, this is a rectangular, ice cream is rectangular or round or whatever ice cream that is. Then if it truly exists, then everybody should see as a round or color, whatever. But then one of the simpler way is, do the animals, since we haven't taught them or we do not speak their language or communication skills, do they identify as ice cream? Because if it's truly that is then, because we, how do you say, for example, name. My name is Gyana Sakya. That's just a name. I could be anybody, I can give any name I want. For example, even while being Gyana Sakya, I have been called Kushin, which is the younger one, or the father. I've been called a friend. I've been called so many things. But then all those things are from a different point of view. People who see me as friend, people who see me as Lama, people who see me as my children see me as a father. So from a different point of view, they are all looking at the same person, but they are all looking from their point of view. So they see a whole different image. So similarly, everything we know as we know, we project that. So when you take out all the shape, size, color, the smell, everything out, then how do that things exist? So these kind of details will help you by understanding first. If you say, okay, I don't exist, maybe it will be difficult for you to digest that. It will be difficult for you to accept that. But then if you try to see outside, okay, what about the mountain? Okay, that tree does not exist, or the mountain does not exist. So what do you mean? There's a huge mountain right there. What do you mean by does not exist? But if I bring a small part or a tree, or grab a handful of sand or dust, whatever, soil, and if I show it to you, I brought the mountain to you, will you identify this as a mountain? No, this is not mountain. It's just a bunch of rocks or sand or whatever it is. You will not say this is, Rinpoche brought the mountain into my house. No, you will say, oh, Rinpoche brought some sand or stones or whatever it is. So this is not a mountain. So if that is not a mountain, then the mountain also, when you dissect, this is such a beautiful thing for me. When you dissect the mountain, like each stone, each sand, each dust, each atomic, if you take it out, then where is the mountain? The mountain does not exist. So a mountain to exist, you need millions and billions of things together. Then it becomes a mountain, right? So many things has to come together to become a mountain. So as you dissect, then where did the thing that we identify as a mountain does not exist, because this is just a name. For it to exist, the mountain to exist, you need so many things. So basically, it's a vague information. Mountain is a vague information. If I say Australia, it's a huge place. Sydney, Canberra, all this, so different place, so far away from each other. But if I say Australia, everything has to come together. I cannot say, this is Australia. I cannot say point at Sydney there, this is Australia. I think Canberra people will be very difficult. They'll be very, very sad. Canberra. So basically, it's a vague information. This is, I think, also very important for me. It's a very important information for me to understand. We understand everything vaguely, little bit. Maybe if I show you a picture of kangaroos, this is Australian animal. There are millions of animals here. So this kind of information really helps me to to understand these. This is also a method. One must also understand this is a method to get rid of your selfish thoughts. And because if the mountain does not exist, if the tree, because when I say mountain, you may think that, oh, I'm not comparing anything to that mountain. But again, if you try to understand, you are comparing the mountain. Even though there's only, let's say, Mount Everest, there's only one Mount Everest. Knowingly or unknowingly, you are comparing the Mount Everest. Because to identify things, you have to separate first. Mount Everest or the whatever other mountain, or even not even other mountains. You can just say my house and is separate from my mountain, the Everest mountain. Because you have to separate. You are comparing, you are basically trying to separate your house to the Mount Everest. Because otherwise you cannot identify. You can just go say, oh, planet Earth. Everything is in this one planet. So everything unknowingly, knowingly, you are comparing. Every time you identify, every time your brain identify or your mind identify as an object, you are basically comparing. Without comparing, you cannot identify. Without separating, you cannot identify. So you're basically, you are doing, but of course, unknowingly, because you think, oh, there's only one Mount Everest, how can I compare? But you are comparing. You are comparing, even to yourself. You are comparing. You are separating yourself from the Mount Everest. So through this way, you understand that outside things really doesn't exist, because you are comparing. By comparing, then you say, oh, then that shows that without comparing, that does not exist. To able to understand emptiness, one must understand interdependent origination. That is essential. That's the key to understand the emptiness, is the interdependent origination, because that's you're depending on each other. So through this way, when you see that outside does not exist, then the question arises, do I exist? Again, because when you comparing everything else to everything else, then finally it boils down to you, then you say, oh, do I exist? If you do not exist, but for you to exist also, similarly, you need so many things to together. Your hands, your head, your body, so many things has to come together, then you exist. And then when you identify that you do not truly exist, then your egos, your self-clinging thought, there is nothing for them to cling on to. Your attachment, you must have something to attach to. Without there's nothing to attach to, there is no attachment. So that's how you, but of course this is a process. You have to think like this for 1 day, 2 days, and also with as you are thinking like this more and more, then you will be more easier for you to accept that. For you, easier for you to believe in that, because this selfish thought is so strong that many of us we underestimate the power of selfish thoughts. So once you do that slowly, but of course it really helps with the belief, with the how to say, if you have belief in this, then it's much faster. Basically, the process goes much faster. If you are just trying to, so with so many other things, then it'll be much more difficult. But my point is, with belief, then you can, with belief, with the faith, then it's much easier. But not only faith. Faith is very essential, but not only faith, but with the because if you are totally based on faith, although faith is one of the most important ingredients, but if you're only based on faith, then it's also, how to say, faith can also change. But with understanding, then you become your faith has much stronger base to be strong. So that's how do you say it? although your mind does not have any shape, size, color, or any form, but as just like your physical body, to be good at something, or to, as a sports or work or whatever thing you are doing, you need to practice. You cannot just do once and say, I'm a professional, or I'm good at this. You have to do it again, one day, a week, months, years. You have to practice. Then you become good at something. Similar, because your mind get used to this. Similarly, you are mentally, you also need practice. You cannot just say once and then you can get rid of your attachment. You need practice. Exactly same as your. So that's why try to be more. Also, your surrounding supposed to you try to keep. Because I used to think, what difference does it make? Everything is mind. What difference does it make whether you need you need to surround with the compassion. People. If you are very surrounded by kind people, good people, you are naturally become more kind and more soft. If you're always surrounded by all fighting and screaming and yelling, you also naturally tend to become that kind of person. So I used to think, if it is only mind, what difference does it make? But then a long time ago, I was with a group of friends. They all smoke, they all drink, and I was younger. And I don't drink, I don't smoke. So I felt I am the wrong one here. When I was there, when I was with the group, everybody is smoking, drinking. I felt I am the one who's not right, because all together they're all smoking, drinking. They also feel it because we feel awkward. I also feel a little bit awkward because I don't drink. Also. So they say, have something, because they don't feel comfortable. So they give me a juice, or they give me some water or something. But basically, then I realized that what is the meaning of surrounding. Because it was a scary moment for me also. When I went home, I was trying to understand the situation today, and then I realized it is not my fault. I'm not the wrong one. I don't smoke, but because of that, you felt like, oh, I am the one who's the wrong one. I should be smoking or drinking, because then I can be in that group. But then this is now I understand the meaning of the surrounding. Why Buddha said, try to keep a good circle of friends. So because you can always go to these kind of things. So basically, surrounding is important, but I do not mean to say that you must, but understanding that is, I think, important. Understanding that. Through that kind of understanding, then you can, you're much more capable of dealing with this kind of a situation. Without understanding, then unknowingly you may make mistakes, but with understanding, the chance of you making mistakes is much less. So the point is that with understanding, and then with the you can build conviction. You have then believe the conviction stronger. Then you can go ahead and practice, and then you will have a much more. And you also this same meaning, what you understand now, if you practice from down the line or after a while, you will see the more same word, same meaning. You will see more meaning. You will see, because now you are going into depth. You are going into depth. First glimpse, you will only see certain parts. Second thing, then you will also then see more and more deeper into these things. So that is important. So after seeing all the all phenomena in this world is the true nature of all the phenomena is emptiness. So we will do a short meditation on emptiness. Emptiness in your mind, the understanding that the true nature of everything is not the sky is empty, the ground is empty. That not that physical empty. Physical emptiness has nothing to do with the emptiness that we are talking about. The emptiness that we are talking about is in your mind. It's your understanding the true nature. Only the understanding. Because if you say the outside does not exist, then you will say the tree does not exist. Then you will, or the wall does not exist. Then you will be started to walk on over the wall. So wall exists. This thing, but only for the namesake. Outside, but then understanding that truly the true, how to say, the essence basically, true nature of all the phenomena is empty. So that's we have to meditate on that. Tedraje be jizun rume tuki chana shwa mama tuki chana jisun gona sabe de bona de bona chani da baje san jizun rume ton de banya chin yana dom baran. Through this way you have received the red taras mind blessing. All the negative deeds which you have accumulated through your mind is now purified, and now your mind is as pure and as powerful as the red taras mind. Now the conclusion part is to promise to keep whatever samayas you have received during this initiation, my mandala offering, and finally the dedication prayer. Tuje drove dendo jezo zo jene jinje labdo zo de damendo ma zo loben la lilo jino jebana jaje na jela lonjo do zo nyambe gone de jende jan la zum lenje do zo wara jo de ne zam de da de do jela da ne bola Yege lomara zonwa da jaye jane jedo zo de ne zamde da den do jela da ne bola na jege lomara zonwa da jaye jane jedo zo de ne zamde da den do jela da ne bola Yege lomara zonwa da jaye jane jedo zo. So through this way we have completed the Red Tara's initiation. And finally, I wanted to say that normally I try to ask people to practice two things. First thing is to have a good balance in your life. Good balance meaning your life. In your life, you have work balance. If you're working too much, then it's not good for you physically, mentally, for family. Everything is not good. If you are exercising too much, is not good for your body. So basically, similarly, even prayers and sadhanas, if you're doing too much, then physically, mentally is not correct. So to have a good balance, work balance, family balance, prayer balance, whatever it is, try to have a good balance. But of course, that balance you have to find yourself. What is the right amount? Because anything of too much, for me, anything, literally anything of too much is not good. Too much medicine is not good. Too much love is not good. Too much prayer is not good. Too much food is not good. Literally, too much of anything in this world is not good. So you have to find a good balance. And secondly, this is very simple, but yet very powerful tool that I feel that we can use to make our lives more meaningful and more better and more easier, is to practice acceptance. Acceptance is such a powerful tool. It may sound easy, it may sound simple, but acceptance, I find, is such a powerful thing. Because when you accept, then what you are doing is you are actually your mind will be more calm, because right now we are not calm because our mind is thinking about the future, past, future, basically mostly future, but also a little bit past. But future means what you're going to do today, tomorrow. Your mind is always racing towards the future, trying to imagine or trying to think. So when you become accept, that means you are bringing your mind to present. So this is such a powerful, because then your mind is more calm, more relaxed, because you are now not going into the future. You are not thinking about hoping, or you are not there's no doubt, there's no hope. Present is much more present, so-called present, basically. Then you are more calm. You are more everything becomes much more clearer. Otherwise, right now, again, everything we are doing understanding vaguely here, vaguely there. Everything is vague, but we are going through it, so then we think, oh, everything is. Even when you see, okay, right this moment, this is, you can exercise, you can think of, right this moment, as you can see everything, all the people, but your mind, whatever your mind wants to see, you are only registering those things. Oh, that color, that light, that. But your eye can. The image can. Everything you can see. But only when you start. That carpet. That the picture. The fan. Only when you start to notice, then you're registering. Otherwise, although you can see everything, but your mind, wherever it wants to concentrate, only those things you are registering. But otherwise, although when you are driving hundreds of kilometers, you are not going to register, this tree, that house, that, you're not going to do that. You only say, that big house, or that beautiful place. So only few things you will register. Otherwise, although you are seeing everything, so you are whichever you want to register, you are keeping only those things, basically. So, but by accepting these things, then you become much more humble, much more, your mind can go into deeper. It is said in the teachings that our mind is like an ocean. The ocean is never without any wave. It's always wave. Some could be big ones, it could be small, but anyways, never still like this. Always some kind of a wave is always, little bit is always going on. And you may think, my mind is too wild, always, because wave is something like different thoughts, small thoughts, here, food, tomorrow, this and that. So many different thoughts are going on your mind all the time. And you may think, I give up, I cannot do this, I cannot concentrate, this is too much for me. Then as you calm down, because you are only thinking vaguely, you are only seeing everything vague. When you try to dissect, when you try to understand, when you try to bring your mind to present, when you try to be in the present, or try to be keep your mind on a still, on an object, that's when you are bringing. Because what is one of the there are many benefits of keeping your mind on an object. Because when you try to keep your mind on an object, first thing is that you are bringing the concentration onto one thing. You are not thinking about, you're not doubting, you are not hoping, you are not, or you are not, mind is not thinking about the future. You are thinking about now, or this object. So your mind becomes much more calm. It's not like agitated or anything like that. So it much more become calm and more relaxed. And then how do you say? It's like a horse, It's a wild horse you cannot ride. Whoever owns horse, or whoever know a little bit about horse, will know that wild horse you cannot just put this thing and you start to riding. You cannot do that, because then the horse will be going wherever it wants to go. You will not have any control whatsoever. First you have to control the horse, and then only you can go wherever, because then you are using the full power of the horse to wherever you want to go. So similarly, first you have to understand your mind. You have to bring your mind to one place, and then with using the full power of the mind, and then you can try to think about the present, the interdependent origination, emptiness. All these things you can do much more better. So with the power of this, then you are basically acceptance. Then it is, it will solve so many of our problems by thinking about the present, and also basically acceptance, by accepting for example, always give example of yourself. You could be reading about the philosophy, different philosophies, different understandings. If you are projecting all those different philosophies, different teachings on others, you may know many things, but it will not going to change you. It's not going to affect you, your life, your decision, your way of thinking. It's not going to change any of those. It's like you're watching a movie. You will watch a movie. Oh, I like the movie. It's very nice, very nice. After you finish the movie, you're not going to change your life because of the movie. It's because it's totally separate. Similarly, whatever, we have great masters, great teachings, but as long as you are not basing those examples on yourself, it's not going to help you. You may understand many of those things, you may know many of those things, but literally you cannot change anything. Because I've seen many philosophers who are great philosophers, but when you see how they live, all their philosophy, where is all the philosophy got? Because they are always, I believe, because they are only projecting outside others. The other people are going through suffering, other people have attachment, other people, but then it doesn't change you. But if it doesn't change you, then what is the meaning of all this, right? What is the purpose of sitting like this, or what is the purpose of learning all this? To help you, at the end of the day, to help you. So again, these are all methods to help you be better, be understanding more, understanding your life. So based on yourself, whatever example you try to understand on the philosophy part, or whatever it is, try to example on yourself. There will be literally, because then it's personal. Then it becomes personal. Then it becomes more important subject. If you are keeping yourself from others, separate from others, those people are thinking self-attachment, these people are suffering, you are not going to change literally anything to yourself. Then I find that such a waste of our energy. But so if you are basing everything on yourself, then you will see a whole different new or deeper meaning of all these teachings. I can guarantee you, you will see a whole different new world of Buddha's teaching, because then it becomes personal, then it becomes more immediate, then it becomes more how to say more to yourself. So then that is very important. Once you do that, then how do you say the true meaning of the Buddha's teaching, you will be much closer to that than just learning as a philosophy or as just understanding some of these teachings. So, but by doing acceptance, so you are doing all those things. Acceptance is such a beautiful thing. We will, for example, we will all die. It is not a we might die or if we die. That is not a question. We will die. 100 years from now, no one from this house in this group, maybe the young ones, maybe, but for most of the older people here, definitely for 100 years from now, will be not be here, right? But we have to accept that. We know that, and most important thing is you have all the things, ingredients, or all the things you need to understand this. There's Buddha or any great master, whoever great master or Buddha, can't give you what you don't have. This information was also very important for me. It was such a big moment in my life. They can't give you what you don't have. What they are doing is giving you a chance to understand yourself, what you have. So if I try to teach you how to cook Italian food or Chinese food or whatever it is, I'm not giving you a new set of hands. I'm not giving you a new set of eyes. I'm not giving you a new brain. I'm just letting you know with your body you can make all these things. Cooking or anything I try to teach you, for example, or pottery or whatever it is. I'm not giving you anything new. You are realizing, I can also cook Chinese, I can also cook Italian, I can make this pot. So I'm not giving you anything new, basically. So this helps me a lot, because I'm only okay. I always say this: I don't teach. I only share my experiences. So what you do with that is your decision. But I cannot teach. I whatever I thought was important for me, whatever I felt that it really helped me to understand Buddha's teaching or about this life, then I try to share that. Because I cannot, how to say, it's difficult for me to say, when people say, you're a teacher, it's difficult for me to accept that. Because I don't feel I am teaching. I am only sharing what, if you think that it will help you, how to say, then it's good for you. But I'm not teaching you anything new. That is also such a, do you understand what I'm trying to do? I'm not teaching you anything new. If I'm telling you something totally out of this world, you will not understand a single word what I'm saying. Because you understand, it kind of proves my point that you already know that. You already know what I'm trying to tell you. But because it's just like we are seeing everything, but we are only noticing, or we are only registering in my mind those things which you want to how to say, register. So you have everything you need. Everything you need. You don't have to do anything new. You don't even have to change your clothes. You literally don't have to do anything new, change anything. You have everything you need. But it's just that we are stuck in this belief system. It's like I'm stuck in this football ground. I cannot go outside of this football ground because I'm playing this game, or I'm living this life, and I cannot go out of this football field. That sounds silly? Yeah, that sounds silly, right? Similarly, we are doing the same thing, exactly the same thing. We are stuck, we are imprisoned, or we are, this is very much like a dream, that we are stuck in this, in this belief. So through the Buddha's teaching, through our master's teachings, basically we are realizing, we are basically thinking out of the box. They are also showing us there's a world beyond this world, or there's something that you can also see beyond this box, basically. So waking up, that's what meaning awakening. Because I said, what awakening? Well, I'm not sleeping, so why am I awake? So this is also a sleep dream. Because what is the difference between dream and now? Without thinking, of course it's a big difference. I'm not sleeping, I can see, I can do things. But you're doing when you are dreaming, you're not thinking, oh, this is my dream, I can do whatever I want, I'm just dreaming. You are not saying that. You are not realizing that. When you are dreaming, that is very real. That is the real world that you live in. But of course, when you wake up, then, this was just a dream. Only then you realize. So similarly, dream, everything is imaginary, right? Dream is not real, we consider real, because everything is imaginary. Because everything is made up in your mind. But then, this life, this very life that we are living, everything is imaginary. Because the shape, size, color, form, everything is your imagination. You taught yourself that is round, that is square, that is yellow, that is blue, that is big, that is small. Everything has been taught to you. Everything is taught means imaginary. So then what is the difference between the dream and this life that we are living in? This is also, because how do you identify that as a dream? Is something is imagined. That's why it's called dream. It's not real. But this life is also dream because everything is imaginary. You have to imagine. Without imaginary, there's no understanding, right? So when you see that, for that to see, for you to understand that, you have to be open also. If you are going there with no, this world exists. This is real. This is real. Then no matter, it's like when you put the cup upside down, and when you try to put something, fill something, you cannot fill anything because cup is closed. To fill your cup, you have to on this direction, and then you can put whatever you want. But if you're already closed, then there's no point of learning anything. Then this basically becomes entertainment, basically. So you have to be open, but that doesn't mean that anybody can tell you anything you want. I mean, you can put good things also. You can also put bad things also. So then where you have to be careful. You have to understand, and only then by checking. Buddha himself has never said this is the right thing. I'm only telling you this. I am great, and this is the right path, and this is the only path, and all the other paths are mistaken. He never said that. He never ever said that. He said, this is what I found. And in fact, he said, you must first try. You must check whether this is right or wrong. If you think this is right, then one should follow this path. This is also such a powerful thing for me. He said, if you think, but of course we humans, then we put brands, we put this is the right one. All the other ones are bad. We made that up. The Buddha never said that, right? So these are important things to notice, things to understand, and in order for you to understand the full grasp of the Buddha's teaching, if you are not open, if you are not ready to accept, if you are not even though you receive the teachings, if you are not ready to digest those information, those teachings, then one cannot progress, one cannot understand, one cannot grasp the full meaning of these teachings. So these are important to keep in mind. And then when you realize from within yourself, that is going to be much more stronger and powerful than I don't really understand, but I believe you. People who are born into this kind of thing, then they believe this way. I feel sometimes people who are not born in this kind of like a religious family, or there are far more chances for them to understand, because then you are curious. You will ask, why should I do this? Why should I do it? Why am I doing this? So you are asking a lot of questions. This is very good. Because if you are not asking any questions, but for my teachers, I have schools, I always ask two questions. Is the children asking questions? If they are asking questions, there are two meanings. One thing is that they understand, and they are interested. If they are not asking questions, there could be two meanings. Either they don't understand anything what you're teaching, or they are not interested at all. So the question is more important than the answer. Answer could be anything, but question, I always ask my teachers, are they asking questions? That shows me a lot of things by if they say yes, they are asking questions. Because if you say, oh, what kind of answer? If you only look for the answer, then but question is far more better, more meaningful for me than the answer. The answer could be anything. The answer is not important, but the question is very, very important. So these are the two things, balance and acceptance. With this, when one can have a much more better life, more meaningful life, more compassionate, more tolerance, more loving kindness. So these are, I believe that, I wanted to share that with you. And today also this Tara initiation I also received from my guru, my master, my root guru, His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin Rinpoche, and then I shared that with you. So I'm very happy and pleased. So this way also my program here in Siva has also completed, and I'm so happy to see you here, and I'm also happy to be share my teachings, and also to see the interest, to see that you all have your lives, you have your work, your family, but you all took time to understand, you all took time to come here, you all took time, you with such an interest, so which tells me that you are willing to learn, so which gives me also encouragement for my practice also. So you are giving me encouragement to do more practice and to be better at my practice. So thank you very much, and I will see you soon. Dedication prayer. Nam de dam je ze ba zong ye dam ne nye be dam dam je ba la du ma yi zi be zo le jo wan jo wa jo Jamba bawo jida yemba Nangun de zangbo de yan de jin de nagun yi jesu daglom chinge wa de da dam je ram du mo du zo je be yawa dam je ki ngo wa gang la jo de ngam ba de da gi ge we za wa di kun kyang sang bo jo je ram du ngo wa ra yin Jan jo yon we yon ba jo gyur
pa ge drup ya zo yon zo gang we ne gang re dro ne den ba za ze pa sa gya ba yi den ba ge yur jing gang jen bo gi de wa dor jen den pa den za ge jo zin yen yur jing zhu ben deng yun yun je me ba dang gun yan jun le nam ga yan bar zhong Bang den zang wei lama rinpoche che da gi ji wo be men den ju ne kan jen jen bo go ne je sung te gu sun de gi ngo drum zang de zong gang re ra we gor we shin kang di ben dang de wa ma lu jung we ne chen re zig wan den zing yan song yi sha be zi den bar du den gyur jing gang re ra we gor we shin kam di ben dan de wa ma lu jung we ne chen re zig wan den zing ya zong yi sha be zi te bar du den gyur jing gang re ra we gor we shin kam di ben dang de wa ma lu jung we ne chen re zig wan den zing ya zong yi sha be zi de bar du den gyur jing ji me mi ji su we gu kang nang ji me ze jin la mo jen du ma ji me ze la wang wen zo nam ki ji me ze yin go drum zao du zong rik son be me du ge la lam ne gen ze ne de ran zo ni mo je sa de lun do be za ge ze ne du ja li jing gong de dan den zong nga wang gyu du la re gong gi don dro gung ga ze de jen do nga lam pen de bal de ba we jun le che zam be wang gi Gyalpo jam den zom nam da dream den zergi za ji la to zom gom berin du manan zik je zo zom dan je den bam rin ge gyab jo rir wan lum bon den jo zom ya wa ni ba je zung gong ma nghe gyab den je den yen gyu ze ma shi ya we lam zang zab mo lob she Nam Gyawa Jishin Donze Jamden Zon Punzo Gyalsin Dungi Tashi Pal Balden Sakya Josi Balvarane Nechon Zamlin Zeben Gendu John Shin Sang Sum Dorje Tarten Som Le Me Lama Johnson Doje Tang Yidam Den Son Yatso Tu Don Dang Cheni Zamo Gyume Dempe Tu Jidara Zoe Do Don Drog Yurji Pun So Zezi Jimba Mego Pun So Zejin Lamo Nam Yalma Pun So Ladan Jubarik Zin Gi Pun So Daba Dambe Ngodrun So Nga Wan Wan Ju Dembe Sa Wan Gu Ke Gun Gun Ge Lo Jo Gun Gi Je Zi Ji Nam Je Je Jo Jembe Za Wang Yao Yao We Wan Ju Jab Den Som Zhong Dung Yao We San Som Rin Chen Zo Jig Dun Jig Me Dor Je Onon Ye Trin Le Nang We San Zong Gung Kya Chi Jam Gon Den Be Ni Ma Jam Den Zong Ta Le She Ja Ma Do Gen Be Tron Je Zun Jam Ba Yang Dang Gong Bo Gyo Jo Men Gal We Nan Dan Nang Min Le Yur Me Ma We Zeng Ge Jam Den Zom Lab Zon Ji Me Gen Be Ja Je Zo Dro We Gyab Gon Du Je Ze Ze Jin Dam Be Zu Gi Nu To Du Zi Te Tup Den Wan Jun Zu Du Zam Den Zom Jang Gon Dru Bre Se Yi Ji Shin Zhen Zhe Ji Lam Yi Gu Ji Gyao Da Bla Wang Yu No Bu Me Dong Go Loi Gong Gu De Le Tso Da Ni Jam Den Zong Zhe Zi Ze Jun Se Yin Go Gyu La Nga O Rin Jen Du Yin Ga Long Gyu Lama Dor Je Zong Men Jo De Gi Da Ji Ge Zen Yun Du Bar Gyur Chi. Now His Holiness Long Life Prayer in English. Immortal deities bestow on beings from the endless mine of great cities, ocean of gurus, sages and siddhas, bestow sacred, changeless, eternal, glorious regions, making beings happy, mercy, love, power, play of three lords, avatar of wondrous, pure lineage, crown of Vajra holder, please live long, conquer peak of knowledge, became wise, excelled in realizing mode of being, peerless courage to guide all beings, pillar of the doctrine, please live long. All things mind you, Lord, see equally, loving, steadfast, oh no, Pandita, powerful master of the good lineage, sacred region, Lord, please live for us, praying sincerely with purest thought, power of truth, Guru and three jewels, boosted by words of truth, unwavering, increase goodness of deed, firm remain. And prayer for concluding long life prayers. Concho rinjin sem ye jin lam dang, ga jo ga we du dan nu pa yin, ya we den zin jam ya yap se so, gu ze rinjin jin le ye guru jin, lama gu ga zan la sol wa de, jo du gu ze rin la sol wa de, jin le da jin ya la sol wa de, lama jawa me para jin gi lo, Kuzeri wo jindu denbada, tenzi nida jindu zalwana, yenja nanga dawur gyabayi, taji de gyan dende dele sho.
Your Holiness, hello. So, it's been an absolute honour, Your Holiness, to have hosted you over this last week here at SIBA. It is said that activity precedes and follows the teacher, and in these last 7 to 8 days, these days have not been the exception. People filled with inspiration have travelled far to help with preparations and to participate in this 6-day event. Your Holiness, on the day of your arrival, on Dharma Protector Day, there were 23 of us that stood with anticipatory joy as it rained. For over an hour, we chanted mantra and made smoke offering. And as I looked in each person's face, I only saw the joy they felt to be present and participating. And then, several minutes after the rain had stopped, and after a full day's travel, you arrived in true Vajrayana fashion, without any mucking about. You launched immediately into a Mahakala Puja and Sok Feast. This is a type of celebration many of us do not experience very often, marking the beginning and fulfillment of these precious teachings and empowerments which you proceeded to give with care, authenticity, and authority. We also felt fortunate that the days were shared in tandem between Your Holiness and Lama Choedak, practice and teaching, the practical with the academic, the lofty with the ordinary, all hand in hand in perfect balance and harmony with the other, thus creating the perfect atmosphere. And you not only elucidated through formal teaching and empowerment, but also with personal insights, enabling the refinement of our understanding, essentializing the vast teachings into pithy narratives that we could relate to, such as how important great detail is in our visualization, how crucial it is to understanding the most secret aspects of sadhana practice, that relying on external heroes may lead to disappointments, since that is the nature of samsara. And as the days followed, you reminded us again and again that all this sitting, this chanting, this recitation, this ritual, the visualizations, it's all for the benefit of beings. Whether we are in the Gompa, in our kitchen listening to the radio with emotion, or on a field like madmen chasing a ball, or in the presence of our hero or villain, we are to take it all with equal measure. To utilize everything at our disposal, and through the discernment of feeling that we may begin to recognize the truth, to learn to apply what we need to benefit others all the way to their enlightenment. And in this recognition, as similar to taking the blindfold off, we are able to see the mandala of the deity as it is, and we can also witness our true nature. Your relatable approach is what brings the teachings alive for us, and this you did with great and natural ease. Thank you, Your Holiness, for bringing the lineage alive here in the hills of East Gippsland, for sharing what has been passed on from your root guru and father, the 41st Sakya Trizin, for sharing your curiosity, your inquiry, your enthusiasm, and to engage with us all, to lead and to inspire. Pointing out again the importance of our spiritual nature and the importance of working towards the benefit of all beings, towards their enlightenment. It is truly warm-heartening to see that the lineage does continue, and the container for these teachings is truly wholesome and intact, as not only shown through your care, but also that of Khenpo Konchok and Thupten's way of being. For their warm, personable, humble and confident nature, embracing us all as long-term friends. Proving to us all that we are a part of this lineage, we are holders of these teachings, these practices that you have so graciously bestowed. Lighting the way in these dark times, there is the possibility of sanity to exist. And now that these 6 days of practice, teaching and empowerments come to a close, the mist has lifted, and if you believe in signs, blue skies welcome our journeys onwards. Your Holiness, please keep teaching and please return to Siba. And I am sure I speak for all when I say, please live long, and may all your wishes in the Dharma and in this life be strong and true. Thank you.